How you can wire ground lights in your garden. Wiring ground lights is much more difficult to do than other light fixtures, as they're being installed outdoors and you need to ensure that they're connected safely and securely while also maintaining a resistance to potential water ingress. If you're installing ground lights into decking, you'll be able to access the wires from below, similar to a downlight installation where you would have access through the floorboards. As they're still being installed outside, you'll need to make sure the cable connections are watertight, as they won't last the cold, bleak winter months. Installing any electrical product into the ground is always going to be difficult, as you can't access the cables as easy. The first thing you need to do is install some conduit so that the cable can be thread through and be buried underground. Conduit will also help to shield the cable from the weight of the materials and offer protection from water ingress. For stone or concrete installations, you'll also need an installation tube. If you're fitting the ground lights into concrete, the tube can be set directly into the concrete. If you're fitting them into stone blocks, you'll need to cut a hole into the stone using a special hole saw and place the tube into the hole. The installation tubes for these lights required a 50mm hole. The tubes can then be secured using cement when you're ready. Once the tube is in place, you can easily insert and pull out the ground lights for installation or maintenance. The conduit can then be fed in and out of the tube using the holes provided. If you use 20mm conduit with male ends, they will fit securely in place with the lock nuts. The actual cable you'll use to wire the lights will come from the lights themselves, as they are pre-wired with a 3-meter input and a 3-meter output cable, which should be ample for any installation. Once the conduit has been fed through and connected to each installation tube using the connectors and lock nuts, the stones can then be positioned onto each one. You can then start considering the wiring. Here is a diagram showing you what you need to do. High-powered, proper ground lights are mainly wired in series and require a constant current supply. Wiring colour change ground lights in series is easier than to do in parallel, as you wire them in one straight row from your control box to the first light, then to the second light, and so on. The maximum number of lights in a single row is 10 due to potential volt drop issues. However, many more lights can be added by using additional receivers or amplifiers. The 4 wires from the end light are all terminated together using a terminal block provided. No matter if you're installing indoors or outdoors, our waterproof mini plastic connectors are ideal for connecting the wires. As the space in the installation tubes is very tight, these connectors are very small and are also gel sealed, which offers IP65 resistance to water on their own. Check the link in the description for more information. To finish off the installation, I'd recommend filling the installation sleeves with resin gel. This will offer a 3rd level of protection. The last thing you want is to get any water into the lights, as it could cause permanent damage. Combine the 2 packs together to create the gel and pour it into the tubes. If you're installing RGB colour changing lights, you're going to have an LED driver and a controller or receiver. It's best to put these inside a control box, as this will store them neatly, offer protection from live terminals, and allow you to have secure cable glands for your mains input and output to the lights. The control box can be stored indoors or outdoors. To control the lights, we have a selection of controllers which include a handheld remote control, wall controller, or control them with your smartphone using our LED Wi-Fi controller. The output from the control box is going to be a 4-core cable, which will need connecting to the first light using the cable that is factory fitted to the light. If you use an outdoor rated enclosure, the waterproof mini plastic connector, and the resin gel, it will ensure you get triple protection. This box can then be hidden or buried somewhere out of the way.